Welcome to this video. I want to take you through some questions. Actually, I want to do these questions because I was requested to go through several topics, that is the Surds, logarithms, quadratic equations, plus many more. If time allows me, I will try to do several questions. Now, I want us to begin with the first question here, which is involving Surds. For example, you're told to simplify 2 over square root of 2 plus 1, right? So how do you go about this problem? So what you're supposed to do whenever you see a question like this is you multiply both the numerator and denominator by a conjugate. So the conjugate of square root of 2 plus 1 is square root of 2 minus 1. Okay, so this is the first step. So you multiply by square root of 2 minus 1 and square root of 2 minus 1, both numerator and denominator respectively. Okay, so once you do that, then numerator simplifies into 2 square root of 2 minus 1 over, you notice that this is a difference of squares when you multiply. So this one squared is a 2. So actually you have a 2 minus 1 squared, so you just have a 1. So this is 2 square root of 2 minus 2. That checks, right? So we can do another one which is a bit long. So it involves something like this. So 5 over square root of 3 minus 2 plus 3 over square root of 2, square root of 3 I should say, plus 2. Okay, you notice the denominator here is square root of 3 minus 2 and here is square root of 3 plus 2. So we are going to solve it by taking the LCM between these two, and that might not be the only method you can use, but I have decided to use that method. So actually the LCM is the product of the two components, that is this and that, in the denominator, right? So the LCM, having been able to extract it from here, then we are going to take this, we divide by that, and the answer is this number here. And so we take our 5, we put it on the front, and then we have square root of 3 plus 2, then plus, when you take this divide by that, this is going to be the answer. Then we take 3 and pull it on the front, so we have square root of 3 minus 2. So now let's simplify the numerator. We have 5 square root of 3 plus 10 plus 3 square root of 3 minus 6, and the denominator is a difference of squares. So we take this one square, we have 3 minus 4. Okay, you notice we shall have a negative sign in the denominator. So let us simplify the numerator. So we have this one is similar to this one, so we can combine them, and we have 8 square root of 3. This minus that, you have a 6, and so you have a 6 a 4, should be a 4 here. 10 minus 6 is a 4. Then you have negative 1. So when you simplify here, we're going to have 4 minus 8 square root of 3. I think that one is making sense, because this one square is a 3, this one square is a 4, so you must have a negative there. Okay, that checks. We go to another question here, which is involving logarithm. Solve for x in, so we have here log of 2x minus 11 minus log of 2 is equals to log of 3 minus log of x, right? So let me hope I can create some more space here. So what we are going to do here is we are going to apply the laws of logarithms. So the first one here is log of the product between two numbers a and b is sum of those logarithms. Okay, that's the first law. Second law says logarithm of a over b is logarithm of a actually minus minus logarithm of that. So we have logarithm of a minus logarithm of b, I should say that. So this is another principle. Logarithm of a to the power of x is equals to x logarithm of a. So in other words, when you have an exponent here, it comes in front and then you multiply by logarithm of the number a. So maybe finally, logarithm of a to base x can also be equal to 1 over logarithm of x to base a. That's what we call change of base, right? So maybe we may not apply all of them at a go, but at least having known how to actually use them, a question may manifest or may require several laws before you solve it. So let's see which laws we are going to apply in order for us to solve this one, right? So we can now apply this principle here, because I can see we have a minus and a minus here. So it means we can take log of 2x and we make that one a numerator over 2 is equals to logarithm of 3 over x, right? And because now log is common, this side and that side, we are going to say that this number and that number inside the parentheses are equal, right? So let me create some space here. So we have seen that we have logarithm of 2x minus 11 over logarithm of 2 is equals to logarithm of 3 over x. So we have decided that we take 2x minus 11 over 2 and we equate to 3 over x. Now from here, this is a quadratic equation, because if you multiply by x this side and 2 on that side, on the left hand side we have a quadratic expression. So this is 2x squared minus 11x is equals to 6. And solving this one very quickly, you can see that product is minus 12 and sum is equals to minus 11. So those numbers are minus 12 and 1, right? So let us factor very quickly. So 2 is common, so this is a 2x, 2x is common, so we have x minus 6 plus 1 into x minus 6 is equals to 0. So 2x plus 1, x minus 6. Oops. So actually you can see either 2x plus 1 is 0, implying that x is equals to negative a half, or x minus 6 is 0, implying that x is equals to 6. So now that we have two values of x as our solutions here, doesn't mean that both are valid, because if you substitute 6 in here, you're going to have 12 minus 11, which is thus a half. And actually if you take 3 out of 6, it's a half. So logarithm of half, that is okay. But if you take negative a half, you notice that this will be negative. And logarithm of a negative number is not a good thing to work with. So you would settle with this answer. That checks. Now let's look at another question involving equation of a circle, because it forms part of a request. So equation of a circle. Right, so we have a question here that says 2x squared plus 8x plus 2y squared minus 10 is a 0. So first step is we divide by 2 so that we get rid of these coefficients of the quadratic terms, right? So when you divide by 2, we're going to be left with this equation. Now next step, you take this minus 5 to the right hand side, that way. Then you complete the square. So when you're completing the square, you take a half of that, you add, then you square, plus y squared, there's nothing to add there, is equals to 5 plus 2 squared. So you complete the square both sides. So you have x plus 2y, this x without a square, and this 2 inside here, and this is the sign we focus on, plus y, allow me to write minus 0 square, you see why I'm saying that, is equals to 9. So this one matches this type of equation. This is h plus y minus k squared. So this is what we call the standard equation of a circle. And when you compare the two, you can see that the center will be negative 2 and here 0. So and the radius will be the square root of 9, which is 3. So we write 3 units. Alright. So that is how you go about the equation of a circle. So keep following my videos. You'll see different types of equations of a circle and how they are solved as far as the center and the radius of a circle are concerned. Now let's do one more here. This one is involving a system of equations, and actually it's a quadratic equation. So you've been told 2x minus y is equals to 3 and x squared minus xy is a negative 4, right? So that's another simple quadratic pair of quadratic equations, and you can see that you can use substitution method in order for you to solve this one. So if we designate this one as equation number 1 and this one as equation number 2, taking equation number 1 and making y the subject, we will have this kind of a thing. So we are going to have y is equals to 2x minus 3. Hope you can see that. And then we have to substitute this one in here. So we have x squared minus x, our y now is 2x minus 3, is equals to minus 4. Alright, so when you're solving this, you distribute x across, so you're going to have that equals to minus 4. And now you combine this and that, so you're going to have minus x squared plus 3x is equals to minus 4. Dividing by negative sign, so you have x squared minus 3x is equals to 4. And you now rearrange, you get this nice quadratic equation down here. So what you're going to do is to actually solve for the value of x, and when you solve for the value of x, you can now substitute in here and get the value of y. So with that, I think we can now start to solve the quadratic equation and try to check whether that is what can help us to determine the value of y. So maybe very quickly, the product is negative 4 and sum is negative 3. So those numbers to me are what? Let's see. We have product is negative 4, sum is minus 3. So this is the two numbers are minus 4 and 1, right? So x squared minus 4x plus x minus 4 is a 0. So x out, x minus 4 plus 1 into x minus 4 is a 0. So x plus 1 x plus 1 out, x minus 4 out. So you have x plus 4. I hope this video is trying to focus so that you can get a clear image. Then is equals to 4, so it means x is -1 and x is 4. So those are the two values of x. But now we have to solve for the values of y here. So we have to say when an x is -1, what is the value of y, and when x is 4, what is the value of y. So we go back to where we substituted our y is equals to 2x and -3, and we substitute now our respective x values. So when you substitute -1 here, we are going to have -5. So when x is -1, y is -5. Again, we substitute 4 here, and we are going to get 8 minus 3, so you get a 5. So it simply means that when x is 4, y is 5, and when x is -1, y is equals to -5. Let's try and check. Now when you take x equals to 4 here and you put it here, you're going to have 8 minus 3, so you get a 5. That checks. And then when you substitute -1 in here, you're going to have -2 minus 3, which is a -5. Right? So maybe to take you through that question, because we got an interference along the process, we are saying that whenever you have a question like this, you're supposed to actually use substitution method. So you take y is equals to 2x minus 3 from the first equation, then you substitute in the second equation, and then you get this nice quadratic equation down here. After you do your distribution, your simplification, so this is what you're going to get, and then you solve that quadratic equation. Once you solve it, then you'll get these values of x down here. You're not through until you substitute these values in the equation that you had made y the subject, right? So that you can get now the corresponding y values. And you have to write like this: when x is -1, y is -5. And when x is 4, y is equals to 5. And that is what you're supposed to do as far as that question is concerned. Thank you.